What's up everyone, it's DV. I've got a price guide update for you. It's been a while since I've done my last price guide, and I did want to get you an update for this latest potions and desert update so that you do understand what some of these items are going for currently, what you should probably try to price them at, and to understand what is dropping fast. So a lot of these are actually going to continue to drop past this video. So if you don't currently use my price guide, you should definitely check that out. It is in the description below. You might have to hit the show more link to expand to see the link to the price guide, but definitely check it out. Before we begin, be sure to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button if you're new. So currently we have the desert island key. It is really hard to buy from people. And the reason why is it's, you have to kill a lot of wizards to get this. And a lot of people just aren't really caring to share them. I was buying these on my alt for about 150,000 because people wouldn't sell them fast enough to me. I would say this is eventually going to drop down to probably around 50,000. But the fact is that a lot of people are grinding these items and they're not really giving these up very much because they don't really grind the wizards, because wizards are a big pain. You're going to see a big gap between things like, the Buffalo Core and wizard keys on pricing, because wizards are a big pain in the butt to grind as well. Sometimes they two-shot a lot of players, especially mobile players. All right, so next is you got the ancient slime string. The ancient slime string you can get from slime. They did start at about 1 million after the update. They've been dropping fast. They are kind of a pain in the butt to get. You're going to get jukebox discs a lot easier than these, so I think it takes maybe about like 10 minutes to get one, almost guaranteed. So if you're killing slimes for a bit, you're going to get one pretty much guaranteed every 10 minutes. Sometimes you get them right away. I've gotten, I think my first one I got like after killing like 5 slimes. 200,000 is actually not too bad for that price. I think it's going to probably settle probably about 100,000 eventually. Arrows are just taking up a lot of stone and wood. They don't cost much to make. 2,000 is actually a pretty good deal right now. I think these are probably going to drop to about 500. The problem is no one likes to farm wood, so that's why these are going to pretty much maintain for a bit. But right now they're going for about 2,000 across Discords and on public servers. Basic bows, this is my price. So the Discord's showing these at about 500,000. So a lot of people are trying to get 500,000 for the basic bows. So if you're selling them for 150,000, chances are someone's going to flip them on the Discord for 500,000 because they are worth, I think in my opinion, these are worth a lot more, but the material does not cost much. It's very easy to sell these for 500,000. That's why they're selling out so fast. And a lot of people, like I said, they don't like to farm wood. And even though it's really cheap to make these, people don't like making things. Believe it or not, there's a whole huge audience that does not like crafting, and they'd rather just go up to a machine and buy it. So from a crafting standpoint, if you can make these, it's a really good profit right now. Like I said, they are going for about 500,000 on the Discord. I think they're only worth about 150,000. Eventually, long term, these should probably only be worth about 50,000 to 20,000. But I don't know. I mean, I think we have an issue here with value versus cost. Long term, this is going to be a big problem because, like I said, it does about the equal damage to the hammer. Hardened bow limb, that is going for about 500,000 because it is a key component to the artifact bow. You do need the hardened bow to make an artifact bow. So you can see here, you need 3 ancient slime strings. If you're buying 3 of these for 200,000 each, that's about what? That's 600,000 plus the cost of this bow. This hardened bow is 500,000. So you're looking at about 1.1 million to make this, and you're making a good profit right now off the artifact bow. They are going for about 2 million on the Discord still, and that's because a lot of these other items are going for a lot more on the Discord as well. But on public trades, you're going to find these about around this price, sometimes more. I would say this is probably going to, long term, this is probably going to be only worth about a 1.2 million, 1.3 million. It is a really good weapon, and it does a lot of damage. It just doesn't do what the vamp bow does, which is the vamp bow does more damage, and on top of that, it gives you regen. It gives you health regen. Every single time you hit an enemy, it gives you regen, so it's the best weapon in the game. It's not worth 15 million to me. Right now it is. That's what it's going for. Now that blueprints are around, it's a little bit easier to find these vamp bows. One thing you will notice that vamp bows do require a ruby Scorpstinger. So in order to make one of these, you need the artifact bow, which is right now, if you're going to buy the materials, it's 1.75 million. And then you got to get a stinger, right? And the stingers are kind of expensive right now. You can find them as low as 10 million on the Discord right now. They probably will drop because a lot of people are farming these. So they might drop to about 5 million eventually. So if you're combining this between that, you're probably looking at like vamp bows, maybe going as low as 6 million eventually. But right now you're going to see them pretty much hovering above 10 million because they are a really good weapon. It is the best weapon in the game currently. It isn't as easy as using the spell books, but it is a really great weapon. I mean, it does the most damage in the game, plus it heals you. So this one I left empty. This is actually the blueprint. I already have the blueprint, obviously. And if you didn't watch my vamp bow video, it is linked in the description, so you can check that out. So you can learn all about the blueprint and the vamp bow. The blueprint's going pretty much around like 40 to 50 million right now on the Discords and on trading servers. Probably going to see this drop to about 35 million eventually. Right now, it's still going around 50 million. Iron Scorp scale, these you can sell to these to the vending now for 75 coins. coins. So it's 75 coins to sell to the vendor. There's no other use for this yet, but I don't know. I think people are just trading these to trade them, and they don't know why they're buying them. A lot of the times they're actually selling these for 50,000 on the Discord, which makes zero sense to me. Why would you spend 50,000 for something that you're going to sell to the vendor for 75 coins? Or maybe if down the road this is going to actually become a crafting item. It's just I think it's just another way. It's just basically, these are basically like our slime balls. They don't really have any value right now other than rarity trading. Gold Scorp scale. These are my prices, by the way. 10,000, 100,000, 250,000 for the scales, and that is for 250,000 for the ruby, 100,000 for the gold. Now to sell these to the vending, this is 75 coins to the vending. This is 250 coins to vending, and I'm talking about the adventurer, right? So this is 75 coins to the adventurer. This is 250 coins to the adventurer, and the rubies go for 1,000 coins to the adventurer. These pretty much are worthless, but they are going for quite a bit on the Discord. So this ruby Scorp scales, for some reason people are still trading these for 5 million, and they're kind of worthless. I price them at 250,000. If people are going to buy it at 250,000, they will, because they're flipping them. They're flipping these on their own islands. I think it's just because it's a rare item. People are trading them a lot, but they're not that rare. Like I got a ton of these just recently, just grinding the scorpions, and it's just not, I think these are going to be overvalued. So by the time you watch this video, so if you're watching this video like a few days later, this is probably only going to be worth about 50,000. This will probably only be worth about 10,000. This will eventually probably be worth about 1,000. So I think it's going to really tank soon. Gold Scorp claws, on the other hand, these are crafting items. So you can actually use claws to make strength potions. And a lot of people want the strength potions because they are OP. It lasts for 1.5 minutes, and it does boost your strength quite a bit for melee weapons. So a lot of people are looking for these claws because they want to make the strength potions. I priced mine at 500,000. The Discord's going for about 900,000 as of this video. I would say these are probably going to settle at about 100,000 eventually, because they aren't that hard to get. They're just kind of a big pain in the butt. So right now I'd say they're probably going for about the same. I would say they're probably as difficult to get as crystallized gold for the amount of effort and time spent. So these will probably continue to drop slowly. Ruby Scorpstinger, I have it at 10 million right now. They are trading for about 10 million on the Discord. You do require this to make vampos, and a lot of people are looking for these. So I think this is going to probably drop to about 8 million or 7 million pretty soon, because people are starting to get a lot more of these. It's really hard to get. You're gonna have to kill a lot of scorpions to get that. Unfortunately, the Jukebox discs are for jukeboxes. What that means is you cannot use these unless you have a jukebox, right? So like if you got one of these, it's kind of useless to you, unless you have the Game Pass. They are kind of more common than a lot of people realize. During this video, I think I spent maybe 20 minutes and I got 2 discs, and I've gotten probably about 8 discs in just some of the mild grinding that I've done. They're not that rare. Like I said, you can only use these if you have a jukebox. Probably going to be more of these than jukebox owners in the game. I think you're going to see these continue to plummet in price. They're pretty useless. They're not limited. Yeah, they give you some new songs, but I don't know. We'll have to see how these work out. So like, if I go over here, because I've got some in my inventory, I'll show you how this works. So you have these, right? So I can go and you can eject them, right? So I can go here, and that's in right now. I've got a yellow, I think, in here somewhere. Yep, there we go. There we go. So now it's in. So you can eject them. So they're not even consumable, right? They're not like blueprints. And if they were like blueprints, I think they would be a little bit more valuable because they would be out of the economy. But the fact that you can eject them and trade them back to someone is another problem with this, because that means there's just going to be way too many of these in the economy. There's going to be an oversupply soon. So I would say right now they're trading for about 350,000 on the Discord, and they're dropping fast. The other day they were worth 500,000 plus. Some people were still trying to sell these for $1 million, and now they're realizing these are kind of just not worth anything. People are going to trade these like they're actually worth something, but they're not really. So what I would say is these are probably going to drop to about 20,000, 10,000 eventually, once there's too many inside the economy. Maybe even 5,000, to be honest. They're just going to be, unfortunately, they're not going to be worth much. The brewing stand is going for about 500,000. At update, they were going for a lot more because people just didn't have the materials and they really wanted them. It's still kind of like that, because the brewing stand does take a bit to make. So I'll show you what it requires so you can see what it looks like. So the brewing stand here requires maple wood, and that was the main issue people had, is they didn't have maple wood. They didn't have enough iron, because it is 300 maple wood. It is 100 iron. And then they have the empty potion bottles. They probably have at least the potion bottles, but because a lot of people just didn't have maple, these kind of went for a lot. It did sink overnight. I think it dropped like 1 million since yesterday. So I would say, you know, this is probably going to continue to plummet to probably about 100,000 eventually, 50 to 100,000 eventually. Right now it's going for about 500,000 to 600,000 depending on where you're shopping. Empty potion bottles are going pretty much for 500 right now across servers, including Discord. Regen potions still going about 10,000 to 15,000. Discord is trying to sell these for 20,000. So if you're going to try to buy them on Discord, they're going to be at 20,000. But I've been selling them since update at about 15,000. Strength potion has dropped quite a bit in price because the claw has dropped in value as well. So because of that, it is a little bit more affordable to make. Strength potion is going for 700,000. If you notice over here, claws 500,000, so you're making about 200,000 profit off of a strength potion right now. Now if you want to go buy this on Discord, you're probably looking at about 1 million. Still going for about 1 million on the Discords. Red mushroom still going for about 1,000. Starfruit has gone up a little bit in value, so it's 200 coins per starfruit. It's because you need these to make your regen potions. It is the substitute for the claw, so if you're trying to make a regen, you're going to be using starfruit, and if you're trying to make strength, you're going to use the claw instead. And then of course sandstone. Sandstone's not really worth anything. It is really, it's pretty much like an upgraded version of stone. It doesn't really have a lot of value other than it's an orange block, right? A lot of people want this just because it's orange. So if you're trying to maybe, I mean, it's perfect for Halloween coming up pretty soon here. You're going to see some giant pumpkins probably, but beyond that, it's kind of useless. And then same for dead bush. Dead bush is only going for about 100 coins. It is pretty useless. It's not, you know, it's not a great item right now. I do have a jukebox here, and I wanted to talk about the jukebox for a moment because there's a lot of misconceptions surrounding the jukebox's price. So whenever you have something like this, right? So let me show you the other Game Pass tables. So whenever you have Game Pass related stuff, so you have like, for example, the lighting station, this is pretty much worthless. The reason why I price things based on this, so look at, it costs 10 wood, right? So for me, wood costs about, if I were to buy it, I usually buy it at 1,000. It's not worth 1,000. It's worth a lot less than 1,000, but I'm paying someone for their labor and the convenience of me taking their wood that they had to chop down for me, right? It is one of the most labor intensive things to do in the game currently, but because right now it's a manual process, I'm gonna say this is about 10,000 coin worth of materials, probably less, maybe 3,000 coins if you're really going cheap. So this is fine, but you can't use this unless you have the Game Pass, right? Same for firework barrel, same for floral bench, right? So these are all worth about 10,000. The difference is if you want these for decoration, maybe you have like a nice little workbench area and you just want all the tables, then I could see you spending about 10,000 for each of these. The exception is going to be the jukebox. Look at the jukebox has a light source, right? It is colorful. Look at, you can see right now it's lighting up the area. Look how cool it looks. So from a visual perspective, a lot of people, even the neon blocks inside, people like the jukebox from a decorative piece. It's not like you're placing down a lighting station, right? It's not an ugly item. So to me, this is worth about 40,000. Now they don't work if you don't have the Game Pass, but they do work from a visual perspective, regardless of Game Pass ownership. You could plop down 10 of these for 500,000. That's actually a really, really good price if you want to decorate your place with a bunch of jukeboxes. It's up to you, but look how cool that looks in that corner. It looks really good. That's how much I would sell these for, just because they're pretty cheap to make. They do look great. That's only 25,000 profit if I were buying wood at 1,000 a piece. I still do buy wood for 1,000 a piece. I think it's worth 1,000 a piece. So I'm not showing any of the last updates like title, blueprint, style, title, spellbook, but I will give you an update on their values. So the title blueprint is going for about 30 million coins as of this video. The actual spellbook is still going for about anywhere between 9 million and 10 million. So if you're trying to get one of these, it is still pretty expensive to get this. I would say just focus on getting the bow instead, and then just buying a bunch of arrows for the price that you'd spend on a title, because the title is going to continue to drop in price. I don't think it's worth 10 million. I think it's probably worth about 5 million tops, but the spellbook itself is still going for about 2.5 million. So you can find spellbooks for about 1.5 to 2.5 million. They're no longer worth 3 million or 4 million or 5 million. You might get some buyers at that price. I mean, you're always going to find buyers at any kind of price who, you know, are just impatient. And then Crystallized Aquamarine is still going for about 4 million a piece, sometimes up to 6 million. People are going to still be willing to spend 6 million. And then a couple other big movers. So Buff Crystal, and then a couple other price updates that are big movers. Buff Crystal has jumped quite a bit. It used to be worth about 650,000 to 700,000, but because supply is diminished, I don't know why. I don't know what happened to the supply chain. Probably because you can't auto these as well anymore, because they keep changing how well you can auto them. And on top of that, I think because they kept falling through the floor, I think because the buffalo core kept falling through the floor, supply is like really tight. So you're seeing these being sold for about 1 million right now, because it's really, a lot of people were having issues farming the buffalo core. I don't know if they fixed that bug. Propellers have jumped as well. Propellers are, you know, starting to go up to about, I'm seeing them for over 1 million right now on the Discord. I still value them at about 900,000, but the Discord is jumped quite a bit. Sometimes you'll see them being sold for 2 million. Crystallized Iron is another one that skyrocketed. People are selling Crystallized Iron for, you know, as high as 300,000 on the Discord. I think they're probably about 200,000, 240,000 right now is where I would value Crystallized Iron. You know, it keeps going up in value. I don't know why. Maybe it's because a lot of people, after this popular Islands update, maybe a lot of people are making vending machines and buying them up, because vending machine value went up too, because they're really hard to find. So vending machines kind of went up to about 400,000 a piece. Sometimes you can still find some on the Discord for about 300, but you're not looking at, we're not talking bulk. We're talking about a handful of these. You know, you can buy them for less, for about maybe you're going to be able to get like 5 of them for less. But if you want them in bulk, you're going to be spending a lot more for them. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button and smash the subscribe button if you're new, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy.